If you have been in the watch hobby for more than 5 minutes, you know the Alpinist. It is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the entry-level enthusiast world. It is the watch we all recommend to someone who wants one piece that can do everything. But for years, the Alpinist has been defined by three things: the iconic green dial, the internal compass, and, love it or hate it, the Cyclops date magnifier. But Seiko recently did something radical. They took their most famous field watch, stripped away the Cyclops, added a GMT complication, and painted the dial in a crisp laurel white that dates back to 1913, presenting Seiko Prospex Alpinist. Hello and welcome back to our channel, Wristworthy. I'm your host Mohit, and today we are looking at a watch that has been living on my wrist and in my head for a while now, the Seiko Prospex Alpinist. It is a 110th anniversary limited edition watch, only 3,000 pieces worldwide. This new GMT version tries to bridge the gap between a rugged mountain climber and a sophisticated world traveler. It's a bold move, but is it actually an upgrade, or did Seiko just make it more complicated for the sake of a limited edition badge? Let's find out. To understand why this watch matters, we have to go back to 1959. The original Alpinist was created for the Japanese Yama Otoko, the mountain man who needed a reliable tool for the treacherous terrain. It was Seiko's first real attempt at a dedicated sports watch. When you look at this dial, you aren't just looking at the time. You are looking at over a century of Japanese horology distilled into a 39.5 mm case. Now let's quickly check the dimensions. The case diameter is 39.5 mm, the sweet spot for all the wrist sizes. Thickness is 13.6 mm. Lug width is 20 mm and lug to lug is 46.4 mm. But the biggest visual change is the Cyclops is gone. For years, the Alpinist community has been split down the middle about the date magnifier. Some say it's iconic, others say it ruins the whole symmetry of the dial. By removing it, Seiko has made this dial feel incredibly pro. It's cleaner, more streamlined, and frankly, it makes the watch look more expensive. Inside is the caliber 6R54A. It's their first office GMT movement in the Prospex line to offer a full 72-hour power reserve. A GMT allows you to track a second time zone using that extra GMT hand. It turns the Alpinist from a local explorer into a global adventurer, and it does it without making the dial feel overly crowded. Now let's talk about the part that genuinely annoyed me. As a limited edition, this watch comes in a beautiful presentation box with two options: a solid stainless steel bracelet and an extra leather strap. On paper, that sounds amazing. Value for money. Right? Wrong. Here's the reality. Neither the bracelet nor the leather strap has quick release pins. In 2026, when even $100 micro brands offer quick change straps, this is a massive oversight by Seiko. If you want to switch from the professional metal look to the rugged leather vibe, you must carry a spring bar removal tool with you. I found the extra strap almost useless for travel. You can't just swap it out. You have to sit down, get your tools out, and pray you don't scratch those beautiful polished lugs. It's a pro watch that requires a pro setup just to change its strap. Seiko, if you are listening, for a limited edition watch, we expected better utility here. The quality of leather strap is good, and it seems like it will age well. The bracelet comes with brushed finish on the links and the sides are polished. The clasp has Seiko branding on it, and there are two micro adjustment holes. The dial, it's a work of art. It's metallic silvery white that has a subtle sunray texture. The cathedral hands are finished in a dark blued steel that provides a stunning contrast. The GMT hand is a vibrant glossy gray, which makes it easy to read at a glance without distracting you from the main time. Trimming the dial is a fixed stainless steel bezel with a 24-hour scale engraved directly into the metal. The date window is at 4:30 position, keeping the main hour markers perfectly symmetrical. You use the second crown at 4 o'clock to rotate the internal chapter ring. Does anyone actually use a watch compass these days to navigate? Probably not. But the way it adds depth to the dial is why we love this watch. It feels like a real tool. The main crown is a screw-down type, provides a massive 200-meter water resistance. The lume is applied to the hands, and the markers, and it glows beautifully in the dark. Here are the new shots for you. This watch retails for around 1,25,000 Indian rupees, approx 1,500 US dollars. At this price point, you are dangerously close to an entry level on jeans or forest territory. When you cross the $1,000 mark with Seiko, you start asking yourself, should I just save some more for a grand Seiko? However, you have to remember, this is a limited edition of 3,000. Once they are gone, they are gone. But here's my advice. Don't let FOMO drive your purchase. In 2026, the watch market is more stable than it was a few years ago. You might see these popping up on Chrono24 or in enthusiasts group with good discounts. Don't rush into a panic buy just because of the limited edition text on the case back. And remember, you aren't just paying for a GMT watch. You are paying for a piece of Seiko's 110th anniversary history. Now let's be real for a second. No watch is perfect, and here are the pros and cons. Now that we have gone through every aspect of the watch, it's time to try this on and find out if it is wrist-worthy or not. When I first put this on with the metal bracelet, it feels solid. On my 7-inch wrist, 39.5 is basically the Goldilocks size. It just fits perfectly. But what about the thickness? It's a bit of a chunk. If you have worn a shirt with the tight cuffs, this watch is going to fight you. It doesn't want to hide. It wants to be seen. I actually took this on a weekend trip recently to see if the GMT was worth the hype. Tracking the second time zone, flawless. Easy to read, super convenient, but then came dinner time. I wanted to dress it down with swiping the bracelet for that leather strap to get that vintage L'Oreal vibe. And I couldn't. You know why? Because I did not pack a spring bar tool. And that's when I first noticed that it does not have quick release pins. For a watch marketed to adventurers needing a toolkit just to change a strap, feels like a total miss on Seiko's part. But then, you catch it in the right light. You see those blued hands popping against the silvery white dial, and you almost forgive the strap headache. It has this Seiko Alpinist energy that makes you forget all the quirks it has. So, is it wrist-worthy? Here's my honest take. If you are a collector who loves the Alpinist but hates the Cyclops, this is your holy grail watch. It takes everything iconic from the original Alpinist and elevates it. The GMT hand adds a layer of sophistication that makes this more than just a field watch. However, if you are someone who likes to change straps every day to match your outfit, the lack of quick release pins might drive you crazy. You are buying a kit that is functionally locked unless you carry a toolkit. But at the end of the day, Seiko has done what they do best. They have created a watch with soul. It's not perfect, but it's interesting. It's definitely a conversation starter. And in a world of boring, mass-produced watches, this stands tall as a true land adventurer. And that's the Seiko Alpinist 110th Anniversary Edition for you. What do you think? Does the lack of a Cyclops make this the best Alpinist ever? Or do you miss the old school look? And does the strap situation annoy you as much as it does me? Drop it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and hype the video so YouTube knows it's worth showing to more watch lovers. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Until next time, keep it classy and stay wrist-worthy.